Alright. You ready to go? I'm ready. Ready? Let's go. The digivolution is up and running. Did you see? Did you hear? Did you know it was coming?
Hello, and welcome to the Vantage Point's review of Bandai's Digimon Reboot line, Omegamon. It is a model kit, so you need to build it yourself, which for some people is a pain. I personally enjoyed it. It was a fun build, but I feel like it wasn't complicated enough. It got finished very quickly, maybe wasted like an hour or two. One of the first things that you'll notice is that it doesn't look exactly like the Omegamon that you recognize from the movie or the show or anywhere else. And that is because it is the Reboot version. It's from Bandai. It's a special line that they're starting that's kind of a reimagination of some of the characters. So you'll notice that he's slightly less organic. He's got some sharper turns to him, especially down by the arms and in the chest here. And quite obviously, his cape in the back is much more solid. It's more wing-like, more mechanical than his typical cape. Alright. Now the figure itself is really cool. It's really detailed. It's got a lot of points of articulation. Even in the feet, it has a ton. Ball joints everywhere. Double knee joints. He's really posable, especially down in the legs. Lots of range of motion in his hips. Unfortunately, up in his arms, he's a little less mobile. He still has, you know, a lot of arm range to them, a lot of joints, but because his arms are so big, they do tend to bump against things and get a little bit less motion because they're huge. His shoulder panels also are on ball joints on each side, so you can move them, you can put them out of the way, you can put them anywhere you like. And he's got some good hip and chest articulation. You can turn in all variety of ways, move around a lot. And then in his cape, spreads out a bit more and can tip up, kind of up, back, and down. Because the cape is so big, it does occasionally get in the way of cool poses. It also is very back heavy. He likes to fall over. It's easy to overcome, but occasionally it can be a problem. And it is very easy to remove, though. There's a little latch in the back that just pops right off. Oh, silly me. Or you can just disassemble the whole thing, I suppose, just like I did. But there's a hook back there, and just the whole thing pops off. You can put that aside if you want, or you can pose him with it. It does give him kind of a very clean look without it. A bit of a more mobile design, but it is a very nice cape. I do wish that it would spread a bit more and collapse a bit more, and maybe curve in a little bit this way. It is very flat, but other than that, it's very cool. I really like the design of it. Now, anyone familiar with Omegamon knows these are not just his hands, these two giant animal hands. He does also come with accessories, which give him his cannon and sword. So inside Metal Garurumon's mouth over here, we already have this little nub of a cannon. And that's really cool because it's so that you can close it around it. But we all know the cannon's much, much bigger than that. So what they did is you can remove this little piece, just slide in his full-sized cannon right there, and in his other hand we open up Omegamon's mouth. The shoulder panel does get in the way a little bit, but that's okay because you really don't need to open it quite so far. You open that up, and Transcendent Sword, I think it is, slides right in. Then you can chomp down on that blade. And now your Omnimon is ready for battle. A really sweet sword there. Comes with all of the symbols on it. Unfortunately, it is a sticker. It's not chromed or anything. And actually, this guy comes with a lot of stickers because it's a model kit, of course. So let's look at all those. It's actually 2 stickers that cover the sword here, one for the top, one for the bottom. And that was probably for me the hardest one to get on. It was a bit of a pain. On his chest, each of these blue stripes is an individual sticker, and those guys went on just fine for me. The little one in the middle, I decided to press it into the dent in his chest a little, and I think that looks really nice. Also, his green little gem here. His eyes, of course, are stickers. So are these yellow pieces on his hip. And the eyes in both Metalgarurumon and Wargreymmon's heads. Actually, I think those are really cool stickers. The eyes have like 4 or two eyes in each socket, and they are different. I think they look really sweet. Also on his shoulders, these stripes here and here are made up of 2 small black stickers each that just curve around and meet. They make it look pretty crisp. So plus sides, he is a fun kit to build. He's very posable. He's pretty affordable. I got mine for $60. When compared to the D-Arts, I've heard it gets up to $80. So I think $60 was a decent price, and it's certainly what I was willing to pay for him. He's got some great details and is very unique. It's not like any other Omnimon figure you'll ever find. So yeah, he's very crisp, very beautiful, great design, definitely worth it for me. Some downsides about him. He's a little lacking in the color. I feel like a little bit of panel lining, or even like some units in here and here like they show on the box. They show these in matte black. Could really go a long way to make him pop a bit more. I'm personally planning on panel lining mine in red so it resembles when they're on the internet in the movie. They do have some factory scars that are very difficult to get rid of up in here, there, some nubs on the back, there, and on his head. Nothing too major, but especially on the legs, it looks a little distracting, especially on something that's as crisp of a white as this. Also, the heavy cape is a tiny bit of a downside. I wish it had a little more articulation, because it really does kind of weigh it down, and his chest and waist joints in there are a little bit loose, so, you know, it pulls him back a bit, needs to struggle against it. But overall, it's a really sweet figure, looks really cool, and it was fun to build, and I'm always happy to get my hands on anything Digimon. So for me, it was definitely worth it. But yeah, it's a fun figure. I'd say it's definitely worth picking up, especially if you can't find or afford the D-Arts, and it's a very unique piece.
Looking out a dirty old window, down below the cars in the city go rushing by.